they're in for a good game.
So we have changes. No shooting. So number 21, Wu Mengjie comes in the outside hitter in position 5. Karakurt is in for Chebacholo, and Shaheen is in for Ojbai. Very much on court is Melissa Vargas. There is Wu Mengjie. There's our first referee, Fabrice Collado, such an experienced official, making his way to Paris after Bangkok. So a busy man. We're almost ready to go. The countdown to the start of one of the most eagerly anticipated matches. China, Olympic champions from 2016 against the VNL champions, the European champions from 2023. Turkey await the serve in red from China. First serve from Diao Yunyu. A roar, but it's not a point for the home team.
I think everyone in this gym kind of cheers for Vargas too. You could hear when she came out, even the fans loved seeing her out there.
Ebra Karakurt. When she's around, things happen. There's electricity in the air. Li Yingying, what a great pickup by Shaheen. Baladin doesn't go to ground. That's very close to the net. It's a big swing. What a good hit. First hit for the opposite, Gong Xiongyu, and it scores.
Gong Xiongyu, an integral piece of this China offense. She doesn't often get the praise because they have stars like Yi Yingying and Yuan Xinyue, but she is always consistent for this team.
She's 21 years old. First start in week 3, and there's an ace from Li Yingying. Are the crowd going to cheer the noise every point like this? Because this is astonishing.
Well, it definitely feels like they're going to cheer loud for every point. It doesn't matter what happens. As long as China gets it, this crowd is going to go wild.
Sort of muted frustration as the ball sails beyond the service line. But there's a lot at stake here. Yes, there are positions to be won in the VNL standings. There's a score to settle from last year, as Emily was saying, a sort of revenge match, as you might say. Oh, what's a good serve. Asli Kalic. A lot of people were saying, well, without Mira Gunesh, what happens? I tell you what, there's absolutely no break in service. She has been outstanding as a blocker and as a server.
Yeah, really her all-around game, getting involved in the offense and defensively. She's been huge.
Shaheen goes to Paladin. Oh, what a block. She does that for routinely. Wang Yuan.
Huge up front, getting all the way outside, closing it up to her right side. An impressive shot.
We got some big hitters on both sides of the net. We got some massive blockers as well. Paladin goes to the tip. Shift of emphasis. Wu Mengjie, that was telegraphed really. Erdem could see exactly where that was coming and she was ready.
Yeah, they knew this ball was going outside, in a good close from Türkiye, getting all the way out. Erdem just waiting on that one.
Right, hang on to your hats. Here's Melissa Vargas. It's in play and just somehow picked up by Wu Mengjie, who goes for the hit, and this time off the block. Shaheen doesn't reach over, it's just up.
And a good shot for China, going right off that block. Not pressed over enough, a little bit too high on that one.
Important for Wu Mengjie. Facing Zhu Ting. I think she's injured. Oh, what a lovely swing by Erdem with the slide attack.
Really important for Türkiye to get this slide going early on. If it's a perfect pass situation, great time to do it.
So we think Zhu Ting had a wrist injury because she shook her wrist a lot, but you will know if you're a volleyball fan, one of the great players in the world just recently. She's had all sorts of issues with her right wrist, and that may well just be a precaution for next week. Cool as you like from Baladin. Nice tip from Karakurt, doesn't go down, so switch of play. Blockers were ready. And then the pipe, still the block was there. Oh, Roger in the right place. She could not keep that in play.
Jorge so close to making a play on this ball, but Li Yingying using that power, this time out of the backcourt to do it.
Big emotion then from Li Yiying. Don't often see that. Gives you an indication of how much this means and the excitement at playing. What a great dig there from Vargas in full flight. She's scrambling here, it's still in play. Here comes Karakurt. Gosh, she gave that everything. Lovely little tip. Vargas is there, but it's gone to ground. And it's another point to China. You can hardly hear yourself think.
Yeah, it's difficult when this China crowd is this loud every time China gets the point.
It's wonderful, we're not complaining. I hope it's coming through to you wherever you are watching on volleyball TV around the world. Macau, Montreal, Melbourne, Manchester, Mombasa. We're here. And we're loving this in Hong Kong. The night match. There's a big swing by Ebra Karakurt for Türkiye, the world #1 team against the world #6, China.
Karakurt finding a way to just sneak through that block. Getting it done.
Turkish captain, Erdem. That's coming straight back over, and Karakurt will have that all day. Like a plate of dim sum with Emily Eamon. Tentative, that's very close to the net, but Li Yiying somehow intervenes successfully. How did she not touch the net?
Yeah, it's so difficult when these balls are right up to the top of the tape, but she uses that high lefty swing to get it done.
So Captain Yun, one of the trickiest servers in the world, and there's an example. Karakurt, great receiver, but in trouble. Had the slide option, but instead, Li Yiying comes inside it and cuts it down the line.
Just showing off her range in the front court.
2 meters 2, tallest player on court. It's a low skimmer, and Balladine just gets that one back. Vargas bends her back and rifles one across the net, and absolutely spread eagles the Chinese defense.
And that'll happen when you have Vargas going up front. A beautiful swing right down through.
China crowd comes alive again.
A really good run, perfect pass, allows that middle attack to go. And a really great finish from Wang Yuan.
Shaheen off the net. Oh, it's a good hit from Karakurt. Daniele Santarelli like that.
A good finish. Karakurt going up and over that block. That'll happen when you stand at 1.95 meters.
You can tell she's revved. The atmosphere is getting to her, and she thrives on a big match noise. Vargas will take that. And Balladine will try to put that away. Didn't get that down at all. Santarelli not happy. Ooh. Gong just completely misjudged it.
And going up for the tip, the right decision, just the execution not quite there on the right side.
Well, the block was there, but the middle attack wasn't as effective as it might have been, and Saibin not giving too much away, but that wasn't the best attack.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty to get it done.
If it gets you a point, you can just win ugly. Li Yiying. Karakurt is there, and she'll come again. Gives it everything off the hands, the pipe attack, foot behind that 3 meter line. Turkey back in front.
Not only is Carter lethal in the front court, but in the back row she also is. And in this rotation, they also have a middle attack coming through, so it's so difficult for the blockers to know who's getting set.
Kalach now on serve. It's deep. Erdem was ready, but off the hands and out. One-on-one.
China finding a lot of success using the hands of Türkiye up there, not low and pressed over enough. China's really getting the better of them.
Paladin pushed back and now coming forward. Tips of the fingers, slows that down. And so Li Yingying will advance. Ortega is there. Free ball. So take two. Lovely tip, but Vargas. Oh. Net touch, no. Across the 3-meter line from Li Yingying.
Yeah, Li Yingying just getting that foot right over the 3-meter line. No part of your foot can touch that if you're taking off in the back court.
Still ebb and flow,
yeah.
Side out. No one's getting in charge. That's a great block. Türkiye then push out to two. First time we've seen that advantage in the match.
This is a rotation where China needs to side out as soon as possible, because when Vargas is on that back line, she can get going.
It's as if they can't wait to get back out on court. Out of court, Shaheen. Eyes down. Wang Jie. That's a big, powerful serve, and that's too strong.
Sometimes it's so difficult back there to go back and hit your serve right out of the timeout, especially if you have a hard topspin serve. But Vargas doesn't care. She even brings more heat back there.
That's how you silence the opposition after their timeout. Vargas again, that's big and high. And here comes Shaheen. And Erdem, down it goes. And the world #1 team starting to run away from China.
This looks like the best start that we've seen Türkiye have. They look completely gelled to start out. Balanced offense, doing a great job knocking China out of system. And all of a sudden, they're pulling away.
And it's still Vargas, of course, on serve. Ooh, that almost jumped over the net. Off the tape. We saw it in your match with Bulgaria, scoring ace after ace, hitting the tape, dropping down, hitting the tape, dropping down.
Oh, so many times, and especially for that Vargas serve, it looked like even lower than the tape, but there was so much pressure behind it, it almost just dribbled over.
Good read. Wang Jie, such an impressive libero. Erdem goes again, that's that slide attack.
Erdem has been lethal on the slide. When Shaheen can get her going back there, it is so difficult to stop, and almost always one-on-one.
Here's a change then. Zheng Xiying, 29-year-old opposite, number 14 coming on. And also Zhu Jiangting, setter. So double switch for now. Let's see if it's just this rotation. Paladin, that looks too long from where I'm sitting, and Fabrice Galados says that is a point to China.
And Paladin coming bulldozing through that back court. Just that momentum takes that ball out.
Oh, what a serve! How brilliant is that? And it's a measure of its brilliance that even a brilliant libero like Uge could not get that up.
I mean, so much pace behind that serve and hitting it nearly straight down.
Wu Mongjie, what an announcement with her first serve. Vargas just blasts through Yuan Xingyue.
Vargas brings so much heat behind some of these swings. You see 101 kilometers an hour, even some of the best blockers can't handle it.
That is not a good pass, and that is another point, and Türkiye with another ace for Erdem.
Big smiles on Türkiye's side, and Erdem, a tough server, no spin on that ball at all. Just drops right in front of him.
That's a better pass. But Erdem is there. They're playing like a team who believe this is their match to win, and they're going to do absolutely everything to make sure they do. Look at the energy. Everywhere you look, and all the players in black, hitting, blocking, digging, receiving.
Whether or not Türkiye is playing in front of a home crowd or not, they love and feed off of that energy, especially players like Ibrahim Karakurt. Of course, they have fans cheering against them here, but it only gives them energy to use.
Here's another big favourite, Zhang Chengying, 28-year-old outside hitter. Had injury problems, but if she can find a bit of form and lift her teammates, then Türkiye may not find it going all their own way. Lovely tip, block were rising. She wasn't quite happy with that Karakurt, but she'll go up now. That's another good block. Didn't quite get the arms reached over. She was there waiting, but it's again the reach.
That's what China's done so well to start off this set, really using Türkiye's block to their advantage. If it's not low and pressed over enough, they've capitalized on it.
Change of direction. No let up in pace. Kalach finds the line. Sweet middle attack.
Kalach has been huge for this Türkiye team that's without middle blockers there, Gunash, but she has stepped in and done such a great job. Of course, defensively, we've seen what she can do. She makes it a point to be involved in that offense as well.
So again, 4 points the margin. Türkiye leading China and still on serve. That is pretty much where Kalach and Vargas would have wanted it. Right onto their hands, they were reaching up and over, thank you.
Yeah, and that swing just not exactly what Li Yingying would have wanted, trying to go for that line shot. Vargas is too big of a blocker to hit at.
Wonder if you could see through the crowd of players there what was happening at the back to the side of Saibin. Zhu Ting talking almost like a little individual private tutorial with Wu Mongjie about how to stand, how to be loose, how to look, go right, go left. Fascinating.
It's huge to have those players off the bench giving those other players on the court advice.
Li Yingying, oh, it's another one straight onto the hands of Vargas. That's so easy.
2 in a row. This time Li Yingying tries to rip that seam shot, but it's not there. Kalach has got it on lock.
Not the best pass. And it's another block which almost went to ground. And this is for Erdem. Oh, she's put it out, or was there a touch? Now the first referee says that's out. Daniele Santorelli says we're going for a challenge. They think there's a block touch. To be fair, that's exactly what Shaheen thought as well.
It seemed like that ball came off Kalach's hand, of course, going for that zone 5 shot, but didn't look as sharp coming off of her hand.
Was it pushed out further, or was it always going out that way? Certainly the angle, as you rightly pointed out, was definitely pushing it out to that Turkish right. Was there a block touch? Whatever happens, it's still a long way back for China already in this first set. Was there a touch?
There was.
There was. Santarelli and his team was spot on. 16-23. Türkiye, a team in a hurry. Oh, lovely. Coming inside, time to think, and a lovely push.
And a really good switch up for Li Ying. She was blocked on the last 2 shots, so you knew she was going to change it up. A smart decision to go right after the setter, too.
So, setter, Jiaolin Yu. Just where Shaheen wanted it. And was that just where it wasn't, you know? I thought that was out. Santarelli saying, on we go, that was out.
And that's one that Ibar Karkert has to shake off right away. She's a player that plays with a lot of emotion. Gotta shake it off. Oh my gosh.
Well, to be fair, Fabrice Colados has got it on his tablet, in or out, and he saw no reason to doubt that he decided it was out for a good reason. And that's a good block. And here come China. Monster block on Karakurt.
That'll give your team some momentum. Huge up front from Gong Shengyu.
A one-on-one.
You can help Debra in this way, she can take approach. The job is this, with Debra they leave the line if there is the double block and the space in this way. With one block they move it this way, you can search the shot on the line. It's good, don't close the shot, because until now when we attack here, every time we do 1 point, okay? Let's go, girls!
Love it. Cool, calm analysis. Telling the players exactly, when you go down here, you always score. Keep it up. Just keep doing what you're doing.
And sometimes you just need someone that isn't on the court that really has better court vision to see where the block's set up, to tell you what's working and maybe what's not.
He's the overview without a drone. To be fair, 4 points clear is still a big margin for China to come back to. 25, just beckoning, and if that happens, it's 5 set points.
Stand up, stand up. Now everybody clap your hands.
That's very close to the net. Li Ying didn't have a chance, really. That's a good hit, but look at that. Urge is there once more. I'm not quite sure what the communication was there between Sain and Kalach, because that was right by Kalach.
Yeah, and I think you could hear Shaheen yelling for her, but it's so loud in this gym, she might just not have heard her, and that's what happens sometimes in front of this home crowd. Sometimes you just miss those calls.
So Aikach comes on, outside hitter. Paladin. And here comes Vargas going for the tip. Well read by Gong. Oh, almost put away. Shaheen. Double touch, says Colados, first referee.
And Kalach smart to try to take that ball over, but just coming out a little bit funky.
Good word. Out of system, but let's see if Paladin can finish it now, and off the hands. That's exactly what Daniele Santarelli wanted. After a little bit of a wobble, having been 24-19, it's 25-21 to the world #1 team. The home crowd hasn't lost its enthusiasm. The noise level is still intense, but they need their home heroes to strike back in the second set.
A back and forth battle to start out, and if that's any indication of what we're going to see tonight, we're in for a good one. both sides really spent the first half of the set trading points, and then Türkiye was able to go on a mini run there, especially with Vargas back on the service line. That ended up being the difference, as China couldn't catch up from there on out.
When you've got a server as powerful as Melissa Vargas, and also the range, it's not just one particular bullet, it's another. There are various weapons in her armory which can cause problems, and as we know, service pressure can cause all sorts of issues. It doesn't just have to be an ace.
And for China, they become very pin dependent as that set went on. They need to find a way to settle down and serve receive, get those middles involved just a little bit better to open things up.
14-11 in terms of attacks, 4-2 in terms of blocks, 3-2 in terms of serves, even though there were more opponent errors for Türkiye.
And you can just see that slight edge that Türkiye has, and sometimes it's just those slight edges that matches come down to, especially when you're playing some of the best teams in the world. You have to be low error, you have to play with them until the end.
77-23 win probability.
Well, and it feels like some of those probabilities go out the window when you're playing in a crowd of nearly 11,000 people. You saw at the end there how it even disturbed Türkiye in some of their plays, so the crowd could have some sway on that probability.
Well, they need to play their part, undoubtedly, to revive the world number 16, the Olympic champions from 2016. Türkiye had that slow start in the VNL, losing to Japan and Italy, and then came back really strongly at Arlington. Germany in 4, Serbia in 4, Korea in 3, and then the USA memorably in 5.
And Türkiye has really gotten better as this tournament has gone on. We saw those early losses. They also were without Eda Erdem, which, as we know, a huge part of not only the offense, but defensively, she is a force up front. Once they got her back, this team looked changed. And of course, we did see Zara Gunesh go down, but man, Kalac has filled in, just plug and play.
Until last year, you had Eda Erdem, one of the great players, not just of Turkish volleyball, but world volleyball, without a major honor on the international stage. Now, she's eyeing up not just VNL 2024 to retain the title, but also an Olympic title in Paris. It's the mindset that Santarelli has brought, as well as Vargas, let's not forget that.
Yeah, she's definitely a huge piece of their success, but it really is a mindset change. When you have a team that hasn't necessarily been there throughout their careers, it takes someone to come in and that leadership piece to flip that mindset of we can win sets, we can win matches against the best teams in the world. And what we see is this team also just has a lot of fun with Daniele Santarelli on the sideline.
When you win one, that is often the breakthrough year. You think of a global sport like Formula One, Max Verstappen for Red Bull wins in 2021, whatever your view on that, and then he hasn't stopped since. It's just that winning belief that grows, and that's what Kalac is displaying every time she gets a chance.
Türkiye continuing to knock China off the net, knock them right on the net, just find ways to pick apart that serve receive.
Asli Kalac, 28 years old. Been playing for 10 years, but this surely has got to be the best form of her career. So Jiao, Li Yingying, Wang Gong, Wu Mengjie and Huang Xinyue as the start for China. Vargas blasts it through. And Jiao has got a fine pair of hands, but not even she could stop that. And Karakourt, Kalac, Vargas, Baladin, Erdem and Şahin. So no change for Türkiye in this second set.
And that's just Vargas's 4th attack point this entire match. Usually we see those numbers skyrocket for her, but they've been so balanced they haven't had to rely on her.
Erdem, the top scorer at the moment, with 6. Kalac is there. Wonderful hands. And then Karakourt decides almost to take off Li Yingying's right arm.
Türkiye is doing a phenomenal job of really spreading out this offense and keeping it balanced. Even when they have a middle attack in front, they're finding ways to utilize the back row attack in the middle as well.
Kalac now. Wang Yongran gets a hit in. So does Karakurt. And another middle block. That's a beautiful touch. Expertly disguised.
Wang Yuanyuan has done a phenomenal job varying up that attack. We've seen her go with the power, and that's what makes this tip so effective. You expect her to make that hard shot, especially when you have a middle playing back row. Really smart to use that tip, because normally you'll have Orge coming in to pick that up.
That was going out, but we'll play on, because Erdem's got another point.
And if you're going to play a ball that's going out, that better be a perfect pass, and it was. Baladine handling that so well to allow that middle attack to go.
Here comes Vargas. The boom off the net.
The net taking a hit there.
It's still in one piece, but only just.
China made the adjustment. When Vargas is back to serve, they're putting 4 passers on the back line. A lot of what we see in the men's game, but she's that good of a server.
Ooh, well played, Shaheen. Advantage China. Wang Mingjie. Oh, yes. Wu caught that just right.
And I don't know if it gets much closer than that. Just painting that back line. A great shot, even with 3 blockers up, going up and over Shaheen.
She's taken too long. That is not a good look. For someone so experienced, there is a clock ticking behind her. She knows exactly how long she has to take. And that has not gone well. Now you can see, not in a moment, let's see if we get the wider screen to see whether Baladine set 2, 1, and go.
You get 8 seconds from the time the ref blows that whistle.
Oh, that's gone to ground.
And a good shot, just right over that block. Yuan Xinyue with a little touch. Saw Wang Yuanyuan do it. Wanted a piece of her own.
Wu Mingjie on time. Vargas. Well, right on time, but there was a big China block. No way through.
Li Yingying got those arms up as strong as she could to put this back down in the perfect spot. Vargas just goes right into her.
Wasn't necessarily reaching over, but it did the job.
I love the fire that she's playing with, too.
Out of system. And that's out without a touch. First sign of Türkiye just losing their rhythm.
And that'll happen when you knock them out of system. China's putting much better service pressure from the back line.
It's another good serve. Shaheen's off the net, out of system. Karakurt's very close to it. Now 2 players, Vargas and Karakurt, not even involved. Chance now for Li Yingying. Oh, wonderful by Baladine. And then Vargas back in position. What a recovery. How about that? A couple of minutes ago, she was on the wrong side, in position 4.
It also felt like China was in control of that entire rally, just keeping the pressure on them, and all of a sudden, she ends up on that right side and somehow gets her feet there to get the kill.
Sai Bin will wonder how that got away from his team. Just a little calm now. Composure from Erdem. It's a great serve and a good pick up by Wu Mingjie. Oh, that's her best of the match so far, without doubt.
So impressive, the lefty on the left side. She's able to hit these sharp cross-court shots, just bringing that arm right through. Karakurt couldn't even move in time.
She's still got a right foot. Nice pass. Vargas on the attack. Li Yingying frustrated there. The block was in place, but it wasn't firm enough.
Yeah, really good spot, Li Yingying getting those hands out there, but you see that slight reach back to the left.
Coming back over. Ooh. Now they were going over in the first set from Kalach. Li Yingying, clever, opens up the left-hand side for her to go cross-court, and not even Erge could get there.
It's so difficult when you have a player that's a lefty on the left side because they have the ability to hit that power line shot. You can also go so sharp cross-court too, so it's so difficult to block. Really kind of a missed opportunity on Türkiye's side, not taking care of that overpass.
Top scorer for China with 174 points before this evening's match. And she's ready now, underneath it to set. Cross-court. Oh, good dive there by Shahin. And Karakurt, it was a bit of a scramble. It wasn't the cleanest contact, but if you catch out Wang Mengjie, you've done well.
China's making it really difficult on Karakurt. They know her power shot is at sharp cross-court, so they're taking it away, forcing her to hit line or try to go over. But Karakurt still finds a way around it, swinging high hands.
Oh, good serve and good pick up by Li Yingying, and then she's only got to have a hit. And wonderful by Baladine. Fantastic play on either side of the net. I think we've had too many touches, haven't we? We have indeed.
China trying to talk it over, saying who's going to pick up that tip. A really good shot from Vargas. Even better up from Baladine. You normally expect Vargas to take that hard swing. That tip just catches him off guard.
And then was Li Yingying drawn into it, thinking I can get that, and then couldn't, and that left the libero in trouble. Couldn't get there in time. What a good dig. But a chance to put away. They worked that well. Simple from the back and then dispatched out to the right.
Yeah, and that's when you just got to shake off if you're Türkiye, because that's a good run from China getting that middle going.
You cannot take your eyes off the court. There is so much happening. Such quality. Vargas in the right place. Here comes Baladine again against two blockers. It's high. And there was a touch. Li Yingying could see what she had to do.
China's starting to rotate their defense a bit on the outside. You see Li Yingying in the middle back, shifting all the way over right to try to take those balls off the hands. And we're back level, just toe-to-toe here again.
Oh, just where she wanted it. Two blockers, three blockers. There was no way that was coming back.
Wang Yuan has been so incredible on these quick attacks, even with two blockers up there, finding ways to vary up that attack just a little bit, this time pushed a little further out to allow that space.
Nice switch, one-on-one, Baladine. No stopping her.
Great swing from Baladine, always hitting that high hand shot. She's not the tallest of attackers, so she oftentimes does go for those high fingertips.
Brings such energy. That's a big serve, the crowd loved it, but Li Yingying got it back. Vargas is there. And then a tip from Erdem. Not the most confident, but she knew exactly what she was playing for.
Yeah, when you can see those hands right up there, up next to the antenna, it becomes an easy game of just, all right, let's just push it off and get it in.
Wu Mengjie drawn in. Great recovery. Karakurt, and this is going over for Baladine. That's a great block. Gong Xingyong.
Good defense on both sides. Karakurt picking up a ball I think everyone thought was down, including Vargas. She just sends it outside. Baladine goes right into the big hands.
Flying through the air, but Wang Mengjie just so cool. She was ready to put herself in the firing line until she realized that was going down the line and out.
Erdem with a really good shot right down the line, just sending that a little bit wide.
You can't miss her in bright yellow, but Wang Mengjie, just have a watch. She's always in the right place. Can't get everywhere because that's a very clever setter dump, but even so, just watch the libero for China. Wonderful.
I mean, she's absolutely incredible. She makes plays that are just jaw-dropping and finds herself just in the right position at the right time, and not only does she touch those, but she gets them up and gets the setter in a good spot to make a play.
Vargas is ready. Shaheen is off the net. So is Karakurt. Oh, how did she get that down from so far off the net in front of Wang Mingjie?
Karakurt, normally after those plays where she turns around, she wants to hype up the crowd, but I think she looked at the crowd and was like, oh, these aren't my people. I gotta hype up my team over here after I'm making plays like that. A stare down.
They actually quite like her, so
yeah,
it's not really,
true.
you're not sort of taking the fight to people who are giving you a bit of jib, bit of the bird. That's out. There was not a touch either. I know they're going to go for it because they have to.
It didn't look like a touch live.
No, and from where I'm sitting, that was out.
Yeah.
And Fabrice Calados, just to emphasize, has a tablet to his right on that umpire's referee stand where he can see ball in or out. It comes up straight away. So we don't think there's a block touch, and
there is not one.
We'll happily take that one because sometimes we got it all wrong. Okay, interesting. It was 2-4 to Türkiye, 13-15. It's later on in the set. Onus now on China to find a way back quickly, because this is where Türkiye accelerated in set one. Now, was that positional or rotational? Because we've seen a number of calls.
Positional.
Yep.
See the setter just going too early. You cannot move until that contact is made, and we've seen these calls be very strict. Got to remind your setters from time to time.
There again, you can see Zhu Ting talking quietly to Wu Mijie, her replacement as outside hitter. Few words from one of the greatest players ever to play volleyball. Wu Mingjie needs to put them into practice because 3 points could quickly become 4 and 5 and they're away. Just where Baladine wanted it. That was close to the net. Couldn't make much of that.
That's a big side out for China because all of a sudden they're back within 2. Kind of looked like what we saw during the last set where Türkiye was going on a run in the middle. China needs to capitalize on this now, try to play catch up.
Big boost for Wu Mingjie, who's on serve now. Just gone long, not by much.
When you're playing toe-to-toe with the #1 ranked team in the entire world, you have to play as low air as possible because they're not going to give you many points.
Targeted by Ida Edem. And Wu Mingjie concedes that pass, the serve pressure telling. And we're up to 3 points now.
A beautiful serve. Just on the outside of Wu Mingjie.
So Wu Mingjie is off. A little word from the coach as she makes her way, and Zhang Chengying is back on, and maybe for a little bit longer. Such power. Remember her in the VNL in 2021. They're playing on her straight away, as expected. That was the first serve, obviously. Vargas takes it on the foot, and Kalach is, or the Shaheen is not going to disappear into the water bottles.
I think Vargas can't believe it that ball was up right off her foot. Check this out. Coming so fast. Santarelli's like, who's gonna play it? I think he kind of wanted to step in there.
So Yuan Xinyue takes from position 5, goes for Karakurt. Try to keep her quiet, but here she comes. Ooh, I think that's gone wide. Oh, it's not, it's there. It's just in.
That's got to be real close. I also thought that ball might be out, but she just gets sharper and sharper on some of these swings.
Just the way she cut that as well.
Oh my gosh.
To be fair, that was right in front of the first referee. He's got a tablet to tell him as well. That's coming over. Ooh.
Ooh.
It's not coming back now. Vargas caught that just right. Big smiles opposite to outside hitter. Of course, Karakurt was, until Vargas arrived, she was Turkey's main weapon as the opposite, but
set not intended for Vargas, but man, she put that.
防守反击一下子抓不就开路，发球先要出来，调整球我们还是要拿后防要抓住，调整球再抓不住的话，拦网一定不要跟他拼高度，他的过网区域可以去看，不是在高度上啊。
Yes, just say about Zhang Shangying in the VNL. She was phenomenal with 36 points against Brazil, pretty much single-handedly helping China to beat Brazil. It was a phenomenal display. Ooh, it's going to be a bit of a China, and that's coming straight away. One player off, the other five thinking, oh, help, here's Karakurt. No chance.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, China just falling apart in terms of passing. They need to find some consistency because it's a mess right now.
That is why Wang Wenjie is so good. That's pretty impressive too by Kalac.
And Turkey just completely taking control, especially up front at the net on some of these tighter balls. China's not doing a great job getting out of it.
So more changes. Zheng Xing is coming back on. And Zhu Xiongting is also on, so a change of setter and opposite. And at least that's a change of direction from 15-22 to 16-22.
Li Yingying being smart to not just rip right into the block, but go high on the outside of it.
So let's see how Vargas gets on here, because she's on the run around from position 5 to position 4. She's not being used instead. Let's go Kalac, let's go middle, and they score another point.
I've just been so impressed with Kalac, her ability to stay in the play and really become available. And of course, we've seen what she can do in the Turkish league, but we haven't necessarily seen her that often in the starting lineup for Turkey, but she's doing incredible.
Oh, ace from Karakurt, and that sets up 8 set points. That sizzled across the net.
Just not letting up in any capacity of the game. Karakurt taking over.
It's another long serve, searching for that service line, just too long. Well, we got here before, 23-18, 24-19. And then China nibbled their way back. Can Türkiye close it out this time? Baladin, Şahin, and then Baladin blasts it, and thank you very much. Yes, they can. Job done. 25-17. China, the world #1 team, are underlining exactly why they are in that position, because they are putting the number 16 firmly in their place. 25-21 and now 25-17.
China held on for about half that set. We saw them play toe-to-toe with Turkey up until about the 15-point mark. And then all of a sudden, Turkey was able to go on a mini run and then turned a mini run into a bigger run. And China just started falling apart. Turkey was not letting up in the serving or on offense, and China had no answer.
Vargas now up to 220 points. And when she's firing like this, and you've got Karakurt not just backing up, but almost looking to be one of the lead actors as well. then you're talking. That's why Türkiye sit top of the pile in the world, and all their rivals will be watching. Tomorrow, of course, it's Türkiye against Brazil, which you can watch on Volleyball TV. Second match here on the final day of competition at the Hong Kong Coliseum. 18 attacks to 9. Wow.
Just a huge margin, doubling up China, and then the service pressure too. 3 aces in just that set alone. China has to find some kind of answer in servicing to get in system because they've looked all out of sorts.
Talking about answers, we're going to get some now from the Turkey coach Daniele Santarelli, because Anne-Marie Anderson is ready to ask a few questions.
What do you think has been the key to your success so far?
I think that we are attacking so good and we are serving so good. They suffer on pass. For us, it's more easy in this way. They have really so much quality when their pass is good. They have amazing spiker. But until now, we are doing a good job. I hope that we can continue in this way because they are China. They are really good, and I think that they cannot finish the match in this way.
What are you saying to your team so that they don't think, oh, it's going well and we need to bear down?
We live of energy, about our positive energy. I know that when we are in this mood, it's so good for us. I would like to continue in this way, I hope.
All right.
Yes, always this.
I knew that was coming.
Always.
It's that je ne sais quoi, but that's French, not Italian. Anyway, let's
Close
wait.
enough.
Let's see. Now, I'd love to see if Anne-Marie Anderson tries a little bit of that with Tsai Bin, but she's in good company. We'll be with her very shortly.
You heard Daniele Santarelli talk about it. It's that serving and attack he felt like they're doing well on. But of course, coach always wants to see a little bit more from his team.
Well, they've got to come back now because 2 sets down. It's make or break in set 3. If they don't win that one, it's 3 big points to Turkey, and that's a worry for China as they look to consolidate a place in the top 7. Let's go down to Anne-Marie with her good friend Tsai Bin.
Coach, what adjustments do you need to make for the 3rd set?
现在土耳其队已经拿下2局，可以跟我们说一下，在下一局中国队会做出什么样的改变？
我们接发球要做得更好。
We will improve on our reception.
And how can you add pressure to Turkey?
在接下来的比赛，你会怎样给土耳其队施压呢？
对我们进攻。
We will improve on the power of attack and spike.
Thank you, Coach.
You've got the
Pass
magic touch. You've got the magic touch. You can make him smile. Love it. Reception. Let's see the power of the attack. Well, he's got some great attackers without Zhu Ting. If you're just joining us on Volleyball TV, Emily Amon and Jonathan Nerjard in the commentary box, and Anne-Marie Anderson has just been asking the questions there on court. I wonder what changes he will make, if any. Well, he's made one. Zhang Shengying is staying on, the outside hitter for Wu Mengjie, which you can understand. It's Jiao, Li, Wang Gong, Zhang and Yuan Xinyue. In that serve rotation with Shahin, Karakurt, Kalach, Vargas, Baladin and Erdem. Why change a winning formula?
Don't fix what's not broken.
So what difference can Zhang Shengying make?
The biggest difference that he needs her to make is passing. You heard it, they need to improve that reception. That's the biggest thing right now with holding them from getting a few more points, is just not finding offensive rhythm because the pass isn't there.
China will get us underway in a set they have to win if they're going to stay in contention for this match. And if the home crowd want to see China winning, they're going to have to hope and will them to victory in set 3. Served by Jiao, and then back it comes from Karakurt, just out. That was ambitious to say the least, but if you're 2 sets up and you've been firing like she has, why not?
Yeah, and she's a player that's going to continue to keep taking big swing after big swing.
No easy road back for China, but that's at least 1 point in the right direction. And that's another.
Hitters in good positions, just not quite getting their feet there on the first one that time. Trying to do a little bit too much with it. That ball maybe needs to go back to zone 5 instead.
Maybe just rushing. They are 2 sets up and they've looked good. China rushing. And there's another point to China. Li Yingying. And this is what Daniele Santarelli was probably hinting at with Anne-Marie, just saying we just need to keep it going, just keep it going. No element of complacency, and even the best in the world in any sport can sometimes think we're on our way, and naturally you're not. Oh, it's another good serve. Somehow Balladine keeps that in play. Calicourt's well off the net. And that's another point. And how long before Santarelli says, I think we'll have a word.
Good point. Li Yingying finds a way to put it down, and this crowd getting into it. Santarelli wants to talk things over. Great finish from Li Yingying in that left hand.
The ball is closer and the ball is soft, you can also throw the ball and she can go. Okay? Watch out, the timing is she sent in this way because the timing is different. What you have to do, you are not in the right timing, don't close, play and go. Okay? Haydi, via, via, via.
No need to panic. Everything is under control. It's just go back to what we're doing. Remember what worked. So Jiao serves. Vargas on the run around to position 2. Here she is. She's got there in time. But Wang Mengjie was ready, typically. Vargas now in the middle of the court. So Calicourt comes big. But still, guess who's there? And they take the points.
China's transition game much improved. Wang Mengjie incredible up in the backcourt just to keep it alive, and then it's Li Yingying in the front court. Zhang Shangying just putting that one away with power.
Shaheen into place. Calicourt now will let go. That's off the foot from Wang Mengjie. She is incredible. So Calicourt again, and even this time they needed Wang there, didn't they? Wang Mengjie, where were you? Come on.
Absolutely incredible, that ball right off the foot. You can tell this China defense just frustrating players like Calicourt who are used to that ball going down on a hard swing. Tell she's putting a little extra something into it. Great defense from China.
That was crowded at position 2, but Urge is well out of field, and so too is Vargas. But it's a great catch there. Dig by Jiao. And then Li Yingying. Oh, no way through. Kalach and Vargas together.
A great combo block, just forming a wall up front. Li Yingying not able to get by it the first time or the second time. And a good adjustment, Vargas stepping that ball in to get her middle involved.
No seam there. Oh, yes. That's what they do so well.
And they can only do that so well when the pass is there. That time, perfect to get the middle involved in the play. Right on the money. Wang Yuan has an easy in and out.
Kalach and Erdem could see what was coming, could feel it, but they know because they've been in that position on the other side. Unstoppable. Wang Mengjie reads that so well. Little tip, Urge's there, but no one else is. And Gong's tip is decisive.
The easy play just right over that block. Urge gets a hand on it, but no other player making a play. Very well placed.
So Li Yingying to try to extend this fast start by China in set 3. And that looks good, and she's done just that with an ace.
such a good start from China. Sometimes when you think a team is down 0-2, they might give up, but not this China team. They're going to continue to fight up until the very end. When they got this crowd with them, that's what can happen, a good start like this.
So first change, Santarelli blinks and says time for Ojbai. Change of setter for Shaheen. Lefty, spins, Vargas. Comes straight back, but this time, the way it was going for China, he just thought that would drop wonderfully just on the back line, but it went beyond.
Turkey has been going a bit away from Vargas over the last few points. Haven't seen too much of her during this set. Get her going, she's sure for a point.
A lot of reaching going in red, so a chance now for Baladin, but Li Yingying, position A. Here comes Shen Yangying, blast that, does it get a touch? It does not.
Baladin playing a little dodgeball up front, just ducking right in time for this ball to go over.
That's a great serve, but somehow Wang managed to get there. Li Yingying recovers. And Karakurt will help. And then Baladin, there was the decoy from Erdem. So Karakurt will go big, and still it won't go through. What a great block. Outstanding, yet again, by Wang Yuan.
Even in tough situations off of this serve, nearly an ace, but China finds ways to get out of it. Even off of a free ball, defense just digging in.
Vargas takes the point and just checks that Zhang Yangying is okay.
And Vargas came flying through on this ball. See how high she gets up there.
That could be painful for both, and also twisted ankle or anything like that. That's a wonderful serve, but look at that, what a pass and what a point. Say no more, that should be in her show reel for a long time to come. Wang Mengjie, brilliant.
Incredible pass right in that seam, just diving in it. You have to defend Vargas's serve like a backcourt dig, and she does exactly that.
Zhang scores at last. China 11-5. We got us a game.
Incredible start for China, finding ways to make things work all around. Defensively digging in, offensively, they are finding ways to score.
So off comes Baladin, and on in her place comes Stuba Ivajin. And that was straight where Yuan Xinyue wanted it. Vargas just trying to be clever, or was that just too far ahead of her? Either way, just where she wanted, easy. Did she even leave the ground?
Now we have to do this. We completely changed our pace. Now we need to be aggressive, okay, with the sheet pace, and start to play another kind of volleyball, because now we are doing everything alone, They don't do anything. Only mistake. Now we change pace, aggressive, sheet pace, and push.
Frustration there from Daniele Santarelli. They had this match where they wanted, had China where they wanted, but they've just lost that rhythm and cohesion which they had.
You have to know that China's going to also make some adjustment. You can't come out the exact same as you did the first two sets, and even so, you have to come out better because you know China's going to make adjustments.
That means a lot. Ivajin comes on, and with her first hit, that's a point.
And a good side out, one that Türkiye definitely needed just to get out of that rotation.
Chance now for Ojbai to go to Karakurt. Ooh, she's going high. She's gone long, and Santarelli straight away says, we'll have a video challenge. To be fair, Karakurt was going for those hands, wasn't she?
Yeah, definitely going for those hands. That ball pretty much hitting the back scoreboard.
Almost into the first tier of the crowd, actually. She sure got hold of it.
So this play...
No block touch. I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Because if they had it, would have gone even higher.
Yeah.
Well. 13-6.
Now some clarification on who's serving.
Very close to the net, and that's not what you do if you've got the tallest player on the court on the other side of the net just waiting.
And everything just falling apart on Türkiye's side. China taking complete control, serving Türkiye off the court and controlling that front net.
That wasn't the best, but it's got a score. She really had to reach. You could hear that roar.
That hang time, just hanging up there, trying to reach for that ball. Just clips it, a little swipe, but just gets it over.
Sometimes it doesn't matter how you get the point. All you need is the point. Oh dear, oh dear. Who is making the call? You see that scrappy point, suddenly it's 2. And he can't believe it.
Yeah, and that'll just let all the air out of the balloon on China's side. They got to side out quickly here.
That's a great serve. It's just going to have to go over. Big chance for China, for Turkey. Oh, dear me, that's not great. Oh, dear me. What was that from Ojbay? Well, we know what she was trying to do, but that could have changed a lot.
Yeah, just came in so hot on that ball, trying to make a play on it, calling everyone off. Still got to play a good ball.
Straight back into it. Ojbay to Karakurt to switch to Vargas. Lovely. Everything's still working. Forget that point, move on.
Yeah, and I think they're using the pins a little bit too much. You see 3 perfect passes in a row. They're all going to the pin hitters. Try to get that middle involved to open things up.
Another switch for middle blocker, for China, for Turkey rather. It's Beza Aric coming on, 28-year-old middle blocker. That's not the best. Oh, she got a touch. She has. Zhang Changying.
Good high swing in the backcourt. Can barely see the blockers in front of her because it's coming from the other side, but she knows she just has to swing high.
Well, this is the first time in this match we've seen one team so dominant so early on. That's a good blow. Aric, first swing, first point. But she's going to need plenty more.
Good side out from Türkiye. Beautiful pass. Gets that middle involved. Any more of that.
Well, the intention was right, but just got the angles wrong. It's a lovely pass in the back court as well.
Yeah, good handle. That ball just kind of thrown down.
Crowd loving the light show. Lots of flags, lots of banners for Zhu Ting. So popular, but not on court at the moment. Didn't start. First time she's missed a match in Hong Kong. Lovely tip, but Ogier read that so well. That's very close to the net, and that's the best that Vargas could do. And it's still not working. And another change.
Türkiye just not controlling their side of the net. We saw so much power and fire and low error play from their side. Just not finding ways out of some of these tough rotations, but kudos to China. They are putting in bombs from the end line.
Ekac coming back on, outside hitter for Karakurt. I got it, says Vargas, and she'll claim it.
Big swing from Vargas on the right side. Cutting right in front of those blockers. They're lined up to take her line away. She just rips it cross.
Still 5 points to make up. Oh, it's cracked over. That'll do nicely. On comes Adic and just lands one on top of the net. And it's another possibility, another little window of opportunity.
Sneaky little serve, kind of going up and then dropping right down. Catches him off.
Oh, she was going for a repeat. Coach likes it though. Keep up the pressure. If it comes off, then suddenly you're just within another point, knocked off as you try to track down the opposition. That's gone long, that's well out.
Now, Türkiye has to play as clean as possible from here on out if they want to try to catch up in this set. China's got to close the door. Those four passers back there got to get this one up.
Here's someone who can kick the door down without any problem at all. And there's an ace, there's one. Off its hinges.
Just chip away at this lead, and Vargas is the exact person that Türkiye wants back there to do it. Just a ripper from the back line.
That had to be good. Wang Mengjie, even Wang Mengjie couldn't stop it or get a hand on it properly. Troubling the photographers more than the defense.
Yeah, you got to watch out if you're in that first line back there. That ball could hit you.
But did the crowd enjoy it? Yes, they did. Not just because they're China fans, but because they saw boldness and ambition. Don't get a serve. You just set me again. I'm ready.
Yeah, she doesn't even need to be on that back line. Coming flying through the back court. A beautiful ball. Great set for her to take a big rip on 100 kilometers an hour at 3 meters high. Insane.
Off the block, Ojbai and Erdem.
This is a matchup that China's going to continue to exploit with Ojbai up front, a shorter blocker as a setter. They're going to continue to rim that.
She was in place, but the hands were reaching off court, and that's where the ball went. Karakurt is back on and ready to hit. Erdem squeezed that down the line, and that is just in. Off the block, says Calados, our referee. Fabrice Calados from France.
And Erdem's really ripping that line shot on these slide attacks. China trying to block it, but Li Yingying reaching out to play it.
She got hold of that, just what she wanted. Could see the hands were high, and it ricocheted and just dropped well beyond the latest defender.
Yeah, Ojbai, again, just going a little bit too high on this press over, or Arju rather.
Nice slide by Aric.
A great slide run. You can see Türkiye getting those middles involved a bit more, that passing allowing them to do so. The first half of this set, they didn't have many of that at all.
being exposed, and here she goes on her own, facing two blockers. She came in off the line again, expanding her options, and she nailed it.
A beautiful swing, sees that set inside. That opens up a lot of line for her to hit. She just turns that hand back down and runs it.
Straight at Ni Feifan. Oh, one of us has got to take it. Thought I was just going to drop in front of three players. And then Vargas takes full advantage. Saibin had his head in his hands. What was happening there?
And just a broken play. We've seen this happen on China's side a few times where multiple players are just looking at each other while that ball's about to fall.
That's more like it. Keep it simple. Wang Wengjie returns, pass, set, point.
A huge point for China. Great pass. Wang Wengjie just doing an incredible job back there, ball handling.
That is a set point. Adic is pulled up for a positional change. You see she's moving before contact with the serve and the ball. So this second set looks to be heading to China. However frustrated Daniele Santarelli is. That's one chalked off. But you can sense the crowd feel it's just a matter of time, and you wonder whether Türkiye truly believe, because Adic, this has got to be on the money. There's another point to Türkiye, not so fast.
China's got a few things to talk over. Vargas starting to take control of the set.
他在后面可以打一个短球，如果到位的话，可以打短球；不到位可以打一个底线。现在听好了，到位可以打好短。对，一定要抢高点，果断。然后你这个球还是短平长平里面把它搞一搞，然后手早点拎起来，好吧？刚才这个球略微高了一点点，没事，接发球稳住，接发球先让它进来啊。
要走！
小王球员回到了场上，我们再来加码，由中国队，
Erdem on court. Big presence at the net with her fellow middle blocker. Adic now on serve. That's going deep, and is that long? It is indeed, it's too long. 25-21. China back in it. They had to win set 3 and they've done so.
China got off to a hot 5-0 start in this third set. That was exactly what they needed. And we heard Daniele Santarelli talk about it after the second set. He knew that that was not going to be the same China team that came out in the third. China made adjustments, while Türkiye did not and fell flat for the first half of that set.
It wasn't looking good for China. 21 in the first set, 17 in the second. Just not applying the service pressure. Vargas and Karakurt and Erdem and Kalac just running the show. Not so in set 3. How often does that happen? The dominant team in the first 2 sets loses its way, but China's start, as Emily was just saying, phenomenal.
It's so incredible, that 5-0 start, and you see those 9 errors from Türkiye. That was a huge difference maker, and a lot of those errors really happened in the first part of that set as well. They just couldn't get a hold of themselves.
Win probability, set 3, 73 to Türkiye, 27 to China. Okay. So we still think China are going to win? I wonder. Türkiye. It's a big ask, because surely Türkiye are not going to go off the boil again for a second successive set. Interesting to see that Daniele Santarelli is talking to both his setters, Ojbai and Shahin. A lot of discussion there. And also off court for much of that third set was Zhang Changying on court. Zhu Ting still deep in conversation with Wu Mongjie, the 21-year-old outside hitter who started in her place and has then been subbed off and replaced by Zhang.
You can see from the serve placement on China's side, so much at the left side of the court, really attacking Turkey's outside hitters, making them work overtime. Li Yingying doing an incredible job for China. Really came alive during that third set, both offensively and defensively. We saw some really good touches and stuffs from her.
15 points to her name, China's top scorer. Now with 189 points overall. Vargas has gone to 19 points, and that makes her with 229 points overall. Top scorer in the women's VNL. Still with another match to go. And just to remind you, tomorrow on Volleyball TV, we've got Türkiye against Brazil and China against Poland.
Huge matches for both teams tomorrow. You'd think they want to go home as soon as possible, but China, they want to extend this one as long as they can.
That's coming straight back over. Interesting by Baladin, who's back on. Vargas crashes it cross court. So Karakort, Kalac, Vargas, Baladin, Erdem and Shahin. That's the lineup. That's the return to the starting lineup. And then Diao, Li, Wang Gong, Zhang stays on, and Yuan Xinyue. Oh, what a serve. Beautiful. Ace by Karakurt. The jump float. What a good start.
Great start from Turkey, and you wonder for both sides what adjustments they're going to make. We saw adjustments from China, really putting in a lot more pressure on serve and digging in and serve receive. Turkey got this momentum right now from the service line.
Deeper this time from Karakurt, mixed it up. But Gong, the opposite, decides time to hit it.
And this very tight pass, blockers just not knowing their assignments. That's a ball that Baladin has to get all the way out on.
For an opposite, just 3 points is, should we say, a meager return?
When you see Baladin on that ball, as the ace falls for China right between the two outsides. But going back to that last play, you could tell Hyundai Baladin was not even paying attention to the right side. That's how much they want to pay attention to the middle and get a double block up. So they're essentially okay leaving Gong Shengyu one on none.
Nice up from Diao. Zhang Ying. Oh, it's gone down off the hands. But there is the point about whether Li Yingying for some people could be the real opposite. And then you've got Chang Ying and maybe Zhu Ting to make more of an impact. Does Gong score enough points? We're about to find out, because China are still in this and trying to force the pace once more. Back in the lead. Great dig again. And then Li Yingying just comes forward and brings the Colosseum alive. But she stepped over that 3-meter line.
Such a good run from China. You heard the crowd going wild, but oh, just that slight touch of the 3-meter line on her approach up. It's a big swing.
Türkiye off the hook then. That's more like it from Gong coming to life. If she can start firing, then Türkiye could have plenty to think about at both pins.
Yeah, it's so important for China to have terminal pins on both sides. We haven't seen too much of Gong Shengyu. They need her to come alive.
That's gone wide.
The right shot taken from Vargas, as the only shot she had was cross court, but China's block doing a great job forcing her to hit that ball out of bounds.
Couldn't get it up and down in the space available. Oh, what a block. What a block. Yuan Xinyue and Gong. I don't think Turkey are going to be happy that I mentioned her, because since I've talked about her, she's suddenly starred.
Oh, she suddenly turned her game on as well, setting up this block perfectly to not only get herself involved, but also Yuan Xinyue.
6-3, what a turnaround. Wang Yuan now on serve. It's better from Karacourt. Oh, what a hit. Zhang Changying caught that, and that was absolutely thunderous.
This ball's so tight to the net, the only thing Zhang Changying could do was use the block in front of her. Vargas just getting a little lackadaisical in that ball.
I want every fight to attack like this. Until now, this player attack one tip and fall down and one ends and out. If the ball is on antenna, we close completely. But I want every player ready for every ball. Then base 7 is good. You can set the trajectory because position 2 doesn't help. Every ball strong and
Every ball a strong attack. I want every player ready for every ball.
And that's how you have to be on defense, that mentality of nothing hits the floor. We got to lock in, and Türkiye has got to fix their block just a little bit. They're looking all over the place.
Because in a sense, in those two sentences, that summed up the Türkiye approach in the first set, which was just monumental.
Yeah, just thunderous up front, both offensively, defensively. China had no answer, and it's been a flip.
Ooh, good change of direction. Oh, what a finish.
Phenomenal set. Shaheen on the run almost all the way to her outside, but uses that power and strength to send it back to Vargas.
The power of the setter. Power of the server too. They've squeezed it through, but Erge's thrown herself, and here comes Vargas again. Jiao. And now Li Yingying goes to the tip. Great dive there by Vargas. Just as the coach wanted. Oh, what a great dig as well by Erge. Fantastic. Now she's gone high. Has that got to the point? It has. It's off the hands. And there's no dispute by China. What a point.
That is exactly what Daniele Santarelli just said. Everyone has to go for everything, and that's what we saw. Digs outside the body, independent hands working, and they're able to transition that into offense. How about those ups?
And just look at the reaction too. God, running on adrenaline. Another great serve. Zhang is back there. Xinyue just drops it over, but doesn't go down. And then look at this. Yevgeny pops it over, and they're just back to within a point.
Phenomenal turnaround from Türkiye. Now just within 1 point, but working so well in defense, transitioning that into beautiful offense.
腰这边也，腰这边也要扭，好吧？然后调整球，如果先垫高一点，不停打调整球，调整球我们保护下去，然后有反击的情况下，袁心玥要上得快一点，手先要拉起来，好吧？把这一轮先要赶紧渡过去，啊，记清楚啊！所有的重心不要起伏啊！
You have to say it's every bit as good as we were hoping for.
Yeah, that's what we knew we were going to get from these two teams. So much history. The #1 ranked team in the world against one of the most decorated teams in the world. And in this crowd, come on.
Okay, at 2 sets down, were you still expecting the home crowd and the home team to come again? I don't know whether I was. You thought there'd be a response, but the way they did it, whew, if you just joined us, they were 7-2, 8-2 up, China, and that's where Türkiye never recovered. And here we are, 8-6 in set 4. Who knows, we're only heading to set 5. A thriller in Hong Kong. That's gone off the net from Erdem, and that lead has crept up to 3 now. Two players going for the same ball. No matter, The slide is there, and Li Yingying can't deal with it.
Türkiye finds a way to side out. Now they've got Karakurt back up on the front line. Vargas in the backcourt, Erdem as well.
Oh, that was not needed. You could see what she was trying to do. Turn the pressure up on China.
This is where it becomes so important for Türkiye to stay as low air as possible to come back in this set. They've got to manage their side.
Sometimes it just seems like thunder's on demand with Vargas.
Now, Gang Chengyu in the perfect spot to make this play, but it's coming with so much heat. You might get hit, but it's tough to handle.
It's a juggle, but that was so well played by Li Yingying. Blockers expecting a big unload? No.
And she oftentimes does go to that hard hit. That's what makes that tip so effective. You think it's a hard hit every time, but also perfectly placed back toward the sideline.
That's coming straight back over. Karakurt scrambles. Whoa! And that's into Victoria Harbour. That's almost taken out one of the Dragon boats.
Rumor has it, it's still going. A good soft block by Kalach. Karakurt coming through, but Vargas a little bit awkward on that.
More encouragement to China if Türkiye and their big hitter, top scorer with 22 points, can get that wayward. Pressure telling. Here she comes again. Not too much wrong with that one, but let's see what Türkiye can do. The blockers are up. Never mind, the ball is down from Karakurt.
Karakurt going back to that sharp cross-court shot. China was blocking it during the first two sets, but this time you see them taking completely away that line shot. I don't know if that's the best decision against Karakurt, who can rip it cross.
Nice pickup. Lovely. Huge open court. And Li Yingying just said thank you very much.
The court vision to see this seam right there. Vargas lined up way too far on the outside. So much cross-court for Li Yingying to rip.
And as we keep saying, the lefty just has so many more options from that right-hand side. Karakurt roars and roars again.
As she should. A beautiful shot to the cross-court again. China taking away the line attack. Not what you want to do against Karakurt. Her power shot is cross-court all day.
Lovely pass. Ooh. That's an error by Wang Yuanyuan. Off the net. They're going for a challenge, but I thought that just went off the net. And she caught that really hard. I don't think there was a touch from a Türkiye blocker.
I don't think there was a touch either, but we'll get another look at it.
So the first challenge of this fourth set.
Yeah, no.
Our eyes didn't deceive us. So that's one less challenge for Saibin. Ooh, Li Yingying thought she'd been really clever there, stepping out of the way.
And that ball just going inside, thinking it's out of bounds. It's a good shot, but two players think it's out.
Another great pass by Zhang Jinying. Oh, Lei, how about that? Cross court, nowhere to go, but she found a hole.
That's as sharp as it gets. Li Yingying, this ball left inside. Man, that ball sharp.
Sometimes you just take your hat off, whether you're a fan of China or you're the opposition. That was class. That's a big hit by Zhang, but it was telegraphed. They could see what was coming and the block was ready.
Palach again just taking complete control of the front line. Vargas getting her middle involved on that block, setting it up perfectly.
Oh, it's done it! She's done it again! Off the top of the net. And they're level.
Great serve, so close to the top of the tape, so if it does hit it, it goes right over. China's got to talk about who's going to take that if it happens again.
10 aces now for Türkiye to 4 by China. Şahin does really well to keep it on their side of the net. Big block. Li Yingying's on the ground. She's out of it at the moment. Turkish block in control at the moment. Erdem is ready. Rises high, but good anticipation. Kalach. Vargas has to tip. Oh! Wang Mengjie gets there, and then Li Yingying still can't get it, but does so. Şahin retreating. Li Yingying advancing and scoring.
The defense on China's side to get it done. So impressive against a wall of Türkiye. That coverage working overtime to get it up, and of course, Wang Mengjie slides in for the pancake.
And the crowd feeding off it now for the players to do likewise. Oh, what a hit. Oh. Quick and fast.
Good shot from Ivajin. Going just right inside the block. Yuan Xinyue pulling those hands down so she can't use them.
What a pass. Vargas dives in desperation, but it doesn't get the pancake result she wanted.
A really tough connection, but finds a way to make it work.
What a set. It's two big heavyweights in the ring. Throwing punches. Lovely tip. Gong gets there. And then Li Yingying does it again.
Li Yingying has been incredible. They're feeding her in the front court or in the back row. Türkiye has to talk constantly about where she is and get two blockers up on her.
10,500 people all applaud, just about staying in their seats. There is so much to get excited about. Erdem. Oh, well up. Brilliant by Şahin. And then Ivajin, what a touch at the position 4 pin.
This is one of the best defensive matches that I think we've seen here in Hong Kong. We've had like 10 pancakes already throughout this match. Defense just working so hard to get under some of these plays. So impressive.
The extraordinary is just becoming normal. Now the big unload from Zhang Yangying. A 2-point lead is opened up.
China doing a great job capitalizing on some of these side-out plays, getting out of it really quickly.
Block rising at the right time. She had to correct herself. Oh, how did that? No, too late. Li Yingying, she didn't get that pass where she wanted, and that completely threw the whole Chinese attack.
Good job from Şahin waiting on that play, seeing the off speed and just hanging a little bit longer.
Lovely. The quality of the passing, the serve reception is outstanding.
I mean, the quality of play we're seeing really from both sides, especially in this fourth set here, just ramping up. Defensively incredible, offensively hitting insane shots.
So Türkiye needing a side out. That's just what Karakurt was on hand to apply.
And Karakurt back in the game. She's that heavy hitter that they need in these moments to get out of it. And China continuing to block that line. She's ripped across every single time.
Another lovely pass. Beautifully put away. They've got it down to a fine art at the moment, the team in red.
China handling the ball so well in serve receive. Perfect pass, allows that middle to go. Wang Yuan doing her job, putting it down.
So Jiao going deep and just going too long.
And with Karakurt back on the line was when China had trouble earlier in this set. This is exactly who Türkiye wants back there to try to go on a run.
Another good pass. And another good swing, the middle attack.
Great side out right away. That's exactly what China needed. A perfect pass off of a tough serve. A great put down from the middle.
Here comes the super spike. This is just enthralling. It's extraordinary. Not the best from Ivajin, but let's see whether Karakurt can manage it. That's too good for Ni Freifan.
Just big swing after big swing. That's what you're going to get from her. And in the backcourt, too, against 3 blockers, finds ways around it.
Deria Shevacholu. We haven't seen her all match so far. And here she comes, trying to level the scores in set 4. How many times has that happened in the last 3 minutes?
Just perfect pass after perfect pass for China, allowing that middle to run.
Zhang Qiangying in that defense, and the serve reception is just fantastic. The pass every time goes to Jiao, and then where do you want to go? And Türkiye have no answer, not surprisingly.
Zhang Qiangying has been a game changer for this China team, checking in and really providing stability from a passing standpoint, something China needed after those first 2 sets.
So Zhang Yushan on her VNL debut, 21 years old. Best scorer, best spiker in the Chinese league last season, so she's used to big pressure occasions. And there's a bit of a delay, which will not help her cause. Türkiye won't mind that at all.
Just building that suspense.
There's a pressure cooker inside the Coliseum. Even Zhu Ting is applauding, adding to the noise, like a drum roll reverberating around the court in this 10,500 capacity arena. Blocked, Vargas. Another block for Ivajin. 3rd time lucky. You bet your bottom dollar it's there from Vargas.
Massive coverage plays on Türkiye's side. Digging in defensively, that's what you need. If you're not hitting the ball, all 5 other players gotta be in there covering, because that allows you more chances for players like Vargas to do that.
So Türkiye, remember, took the first 2 sets. China responded, now Vargas with the serve. And is that just out? It is. She was going for broke then. And the crowd sensed this could be the moment. They're keeping Türkiye at bay. 2 points behind. Side outs will suit China all the way. We're on to 5. Jiao on her knees. Here comes Li Yingying. Uge on her knees. And now Vargas flying, but not landing a big one just yet. Gong is there. And what's happened? There's someone...
Net touch. Net touch on China's side, you'll see coming down.
Can't hear anything. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. Sorry, yeah. Yun Xinyue. Li Yingying. Oh, it's blocked. Oh, that's gone long. There's no touch there, and we're level at 23 all.
All of a sudden, Türkiye back in this match, back in the set rather, after a few string of Chinese errors. They have to play as clean as possible to close it out. A few missed opportunities.
They're going for a challenge, China, hoping for a block touch. I think that's a hope and a challenge in vain.
And both sides do have one timeout left.
The reaction of the Chinese players, particularly, particularly Zhang, said so much. There was no, yep, that was a touch, that was, oh no, that's long.
Watch this ball go in the backcourt to Li Yingying coming flying through.
Let's see where this ends up first, though. Is it an ace? No. Pass. Down it goes. And China have set points in the fourth set to take us to 5.
Great answer from China. Perfect pass. Yuan Xinyue puts it down easily.
Türkiye need a side out. Crowd anticipating. Li Yingying off the hands. The crowd have what they wanted. 25-23. We are going to 5. What a match. What entertainment. And what a noise even more. We thought it was noisy last night when they confirmed they would be going to Paris. The Olympic Games participation. This has got, oh, that has got nothing on this occasion. This is phenomenal.
China rising to this occasion, down 0-2, backs completely against the wall, playing the #1 ranked team in the world, and they dig in and find a way to extend this match as long as possible, making incredible adjustments. From a passing standpoint, they have been outstanding handling these balls to keep that offense balanced.
So here's the toss. I don't think Yuan Xinyue quite heard that. Okay, you can't hear yourself think, never mind talk. Well, from 2 sets down, here we are, going to 5. 25-21, 25-23. Türkiye getting closer, but not close enough.
Taking a look at those numbers, you see kind of just how even it was, but China getting the better of Türkiye in terms of attacks. Türkiye's block really came back alive. We saw a lot of that in set 1 and set 2, but you see how close these margins are in that 25-23 victory. Expect this 5th set to be much of the same. Not much room for error. And that probability looks a little bit more like it. Nearly 50-50. China, the home team. They've got this whole crowd behind them. Nearly 11,000 strong.
1xBet, you've just about got that one nailed. And there was what, 78% in favor of Türkiye? Well, maybe at one stage. Completely different match now, and this could change things as well in the standings, because at the moment Türkiye are 5th with 24 points, China have 21 in 6th. China, of course, if they win, will only get 2 points, likewise Türkiye. So Türkiye would move above Japan.
And important to remember that China's just trying to get back into the VNL finals. They're currently sitting at 6, but this is a team that needs wins in order to get there, as you have to finish in that top 7. Canada close behind, and the US close as well with 1 more match to go.
Canada have finished. They've got 20 from their 12 matches, no more for them. USA play tomorrow, and also so too do the Netherlands. China would just get 1 point, and they went down in 3-2, which wouldn't be enough to close the gap on Türkiye, because they get an extra point. 26-22.
And not only is China trying to get into the VNL finals, they're trying to get a little bit of revenge for what Türkiye did to them in that final gold medal match last year where Türkiye took them down in 4 sets.
And don't forget, tomorrow they've got to do it all again because Türkiye play Brazil, who are the only unbeaten team in the VNL, men or women, and China are up against Poland, second just with 1 defeat. Are we ready? Here's the decisive set in Hong Kong. Karakurt on serve for Türkiye. Oh yes, what a good block. Kalac, arms raised. Could be the first set all over again.
Kalac is everywhere up on the court. If you miss the first 4 sets of this match, you got to keep your eye on her because when she's up there, she is a wall.
Karakurt, Kalac, Vargas, Eva Jean stayed on, Erdem, Sain. So no Balladine for moment. Li Yingying watches it, waits, delivers, and she'll go again. The block is there, she's gone deeper. The block is rising so well for China. And then from the back court, Karakurt doesn't make headway. Oh, there's a double touch, or rather there's a push back there to Karakurt, which slows the Türkiye attack down. And then cross court, Li Yingying, thank you very much. And it was that fumble, that quickly successive touch on the Türkiye side of the net which caused that and then allowed China to come through.
Big transition play on China's side, handling some of those easier passes well. That allows that offense to go off.
Gosh, it's calm, it's quiet. Until Li Ying serves. Nice pass. Oh, what a big hit.
Melissa Vargas is a player that Türkiye has to continue to establish as a threat. Keep that ball on her because she's scoring at such a high clip up there. China hasn't really had an answer. She's racking up points left and right.
That's a monster block. Eva Jean at a key moment.
Does a great job as a shorter outside attacker. They're going to attack her up front. She's not letting them.
Shutting down Gong, and 3-1 Türkiye lead. That was just long, whatever Kalac may say. "11 service errors there for Türkiye, but then they have had 10 aces. And that's just gone exactly where Vargas wanted.
That's why she's one of the best players in the world. Even with the set that looks a little bit too low, she speeds up that approach and can still make that look easy.
23 points, make that 26 points rather in the match. What a good serve that is, but what a pick up. That's very close to the net. And that's going to be a net touch, is it? It is. 5-2.
A much-needed timeout on China's side, just not the China that we saw through those 3rd and 4th sets. Coming off a little bit sloppy here.
Zhang Chengying bearing the scars there of being a top outside hitter, taped up arm and big knee brace as well. Gong doesn't get it through. Erge, Karakurt, Vargas completes it. Big hit. Gong was determined to get through and eventually made the telling headway.
China using some variance in that offense, bringing Gong Chengyu closer to the setter. That catches the blockers off guard because they're way too far set up over to the line.
Just up to 7 points Gong. contrast to Vargas, who's on 26, the other opposing opposite. And there's another big hit. Ooh, well played by Karakurt, attacking that just as Santarelli would have wanted. And then Ivagin will try and put it down, and she does. Oh.
Not a lot of players are going to swing on an out-of-system ball like that. Orge putting it in a beautiful position off of that save from Karakurt. And Ivagin, fantastic swing straight to the middle of the court.
Such judgment, precision. China not getting the ball to the ground at the moment. And that was just one of those things, one of those swings which didn't go to plan.
Yeah, one of those that you have to shake off right away. Karakurt, a player that plays with her emotions on her sleeve. Shake that off and get the next one.
To be fair, they won the point last one because of her dive brilliantly out in position 1. That was exactly where Wan Qinyue needed it.
Yuan Qinyue making that play look easy, just hanging up there a little bit longer. Saw that off speed coming from a mile away, and just easy shutdown. She barely had to jump for that.
When you're 2 meters 2, it sure helps.
That definitely helps.
Nice pass. Now we're going for a referee's replay. Was that the net or was that does he think that was the antenna?
Challenge. Referee challenge.
So the referee just making sure that they have the right call. It seemed like Erdem definitely thought that she hit the antenna based on her reaction to it.
Yeah.
It's also tough to tell from where the ref is standing.
We heard the clunk. Now here we are.
Yeah.
There's the answer. Well, that's a turnaround. 6-3 at one stage to Türkiye. Now we're level, 6-all. And doesn't the crowd know it? It's trying to be really tricky.
We've seen a few errors on both sides. This 5th set goes really fast if you're trading errors. Got to manage your side the best that you can.
That's in play, and it's a very good serve. Li Yingying somehow gets that up. Ooh, 2 players underneath it. Kalach and Erdem. Here comes Karakurt. And then Li Yingying with 2 blockers. Oh, Karakurt gets there still. Brilliant. Oh, yes. And the response from Türkiye is decisive, and they're back 2 in front.
The message to Türkiye was clear after set 2. We got to pick up balls better. We've seen since then such defensive hustle and just that locked-in mentality that Daniele Santarelli wanted to see from his defenders.
The value of experience, a cool head. Erdem knew exactly where that needed to go. No fuss, no panic. And it dropped as planned. So we switch ends, we catch breath, and we're ready to go again. The first to 15, Türkiye 2 points to the good. 53% attacks in. Saibin just waiting and waiting, and then last moment, let's have a timeout.
然后你补略微后面一点点，对吧？传也在后面就有了。那问题2传你往里一走的话，这个面积就填他的了。他明显已经是传球了，你也要出来，防这个叫球，这就过了啊！把一步打好，然后发球继续攻，拦网一定要慢一跑，别急，包括后面防守也是这样啊。注意力，注意力。
They're loving it, and you know what you also notice? No one is leaving.
No.
No one is going to go anywhere at the moment. Just when you think Türkiye are on their way, and they certainly were after 2 sets because they won them both, back come China. That's put away, and here they come once more. There's just a point in it.
China's middles have been so effective anytime they get set, either in front of the setter or behind. that contact and that connection has been beautiful.
Nine points for the captain on serve. Oh, she's got down there. She needed all those 2 meters and 2 centimeters. Vargas blasts it through. And this has got to go over. Free ball. Zhao takes a look, sends it to Li Yingying, who places it absolutely to perfection.
Beautiful transition play. China digging in defensively. Yuan Qinyue incredible up in the backcourt, using that length to her advantage. Li Yingying on that 32 ball catches Türkiye off guard.
The block is doing so well on Karakurt. Oh yes, and they're doing even better with a middle attack. 2 points down, now 1 in front. Super spike.
China can see the frustration on Karakurt's face and runs right into her in the middle. She's got to be in on that. A 2-hitter rotation, you got to help with that.
Time for a chat. Daniele Santarelli calls his team over.
The setter really tries to touch in this way. What you don't have to do is to touch here. Okay? For sure, position 1 here and 6 try to touch. But you need to attack high and strong. No short cross, okay? Haydi, no short cross.
Little word there to Ebra Karakurt. I couldn't quite catch what the advice was. Something about the setter.
The setter in this rotation, I believe, is front row, so they have to make sure she's not necessarily a threat usually. She's not very tall, but maybe to attack her on that line.
Yep, she's there. Position 2, opposite Karakurt, who takes it on reception. And then Vargas, they switch it. And that's a good big hit. Yuan Qinyue was in the way, but couldn't direct the pass. We're level.
Now a game to 6. Doesn't even matter anything that's happened in this game so far. You just have to focus on the next 6 points. Get ahead.
Urge somehow gets there. It didn't work this time. Ibagin was there. Maybe Vargas can finish. Down the line, is there a touch? There is. And that means she now has 237 points in the VNL, and she is the top scorer throughout the women's, ahead of Kira van Rijk for Canada.
Doing it with insane fashion.
And we've still got a few more points to go. And there's another one, make that. She's actually got 239 now. It's 238 was the record she needed, and she's up to 239, and she's probably going to make 240 at this rate.
Now this is Turkey's best rotation with Shaheen in the backcourt. They have Karakurt and Vargas up front along with Kalac. That's a tough front line to get past if you're China.
But if your name's Wang Yuan, what's your problem?
Yeah, she doesn't care who's big up front. Perfect set. That slide has been absolute money all night long.
We've been playing for just over 2 hours in the Hong Kong Coliseum, and we still don't know who's going to win. Is it going to be the world #1 and VNL champions, or is it going to be the Olympic champions, China? Türkiye, there's a bit of confusion in transition there. Here comes Karakurt, blasts it. No way past Ni Faifan, and that's a little tip by Li Yingying, but it's up by Karakurt. What a save that is. That looks to be low. No. Fabrice Calada says there was a touch. And that's 2 points to the good for Türkiye.
You can tell the frustration from Karakurt on some of these balls that aren't going down, but she's upping other areas of her game. Her defense has been outstanding. She's had 4 or 5 pancakes just by herself.
It's exactly as Daniele Santarelli said. What advice? Every player attack the ball. Everything was going well. It's the Emily Eamon jinx.
Now Li Yingying for China in the backcourt. Watch them to keep getting her going.
Vargas, let's go, but only onto the hands of Wang Yuan, who gestured to the crowd, lifts them again. It's a monster block, and we're level.
That's exactly what China needed. Shut down Türkiye's best attacker. They knew where the ball was going. They shut her down.
Now it's a game of 3, not 6. Block goes up, ball goes down. Vargas has a look and said, I'm having you, and does.
Yeah, you know when you block Vargas, she's gonna come back with even more heat and a little stare down. Okay.
Yivagin. And off the hands, we're level again. That middle attack has worked so well. It's served China so well. It's taking them towards that magic number 15.
Good pass allows that middle to run. China doing a phenomenal job here for the second half of this match, doing just that.
Whew. Here's a pressure serve. On you go.
And you know this ball is going to go to Vargas on the right side.
On your debut in the VNL, 21-year-old outside hitter. It's gone to Yivagin, and here comes Vargas. Up goes the block. Crowd roar. Don't want to see it going down. Still in the air. Cross court. Lovely pass. Still not down. Vargas goes once more, and it's drifting to the back. What a defense this is. Oh, is that wide? It is. And it's match point to China. They're on their feet in the Hong Kong Coliseum. China, from 2 sets down, now have the chance to win in 5. There is a challenge you will not be surprised to hear. They're looking for a block touch, as you can see on your screen. And was there a block touch? There was no block touch. Wang Xinyue did not get a finger anywhere near it. So, did we ever see this coming? But we saw a timeout coming, absolutely. Just raise the stakes a little bit more. While Türkiye talk, interesting to see the server, Zhang Yushan, was just bouncing up and down, just keeping herself warm, fresh. And the assistant coaches was having a word as well. What drama in the VNL. China the hosts. They looked out of it after the first 2 sets, but now they have the chance in front of a capacity crowd on their home court in the Hong Kong Coliseum to close out a phenomenal recovery to take down the world #1 team. Serves in play. Not the best pass, certainly. Here comes Vargas. Olé! China have triumphed. Vargas is shut down, and China have taken down the world #1 team. And the Hong Kong Coliseum has gone absolutely wild. They cannot believe what they've just seen. It didn't seem possible.